mute yourself. And welcome everyone to another episode of Being Healthy. What exactly does it mean being healthy? There's so many versions. I've heard people say things about, oh, yes, I was very healthy until so and so happened. And then when you look back and you hear their story, you realize, no, there were always signs to them that what they are now experiencing was actually taking place. The body has the most amazing ways of communicating with us. And it communicates with us usually in the most gentle, most tender ways. It will just whisper to us. Pay attention to digestion. Pay attention to this nerve. Pay attention to to your connective tissue. Pay attention to your big toe. And we just ignore it because it interferes with us. Our bodies interfere with us. When we actually must stop, pay attention to it, listen to it, and listen to the communication it's giving us. We do not want communication from our bodies. We want to drag it around and allow ourselves to do whatever we want, and it must keep up with us. However, the body is part of nature. It's part of a much bigger, generous, loving universe. And when we are anything but loving and generous with it, it will speak to us in whispers. Then in just small, tiny notices, alerts to us, until eventually it hasn't gotten our attention for a while and will yell and scream at us. So you'll hear that, oh, it takes 10 years for cancer to be diagnosed or to be created. Here's the thing. Cancer doesn't start. We all have cancer cells. The question is, are we communicating with them, and what are we saying to them? And this is why I am so, so glad to have our guest and the co-host, Blythe Mitz, with us today, and her book. Wait until you see the name. We're launching it here today. This is so important. The body communicates with us all the time, but do we communicate with it? Welcome, Blythe. So, Blythe, just unmute yourself first, please.
Yes, there we go. Thank you so much. That was such a lovely introduction. And yeah, I love hearing other people talk about the relationship with the body, right? It's like we're in a relationship with our body. And the more we listen to our body, and then the more we communicate to our body, just the healthier our body is. Yeah.
Exactly. And you have actually now penned a book, a very exciting book. Is this your third or second book?
I think it's like my fifth book. I just re-released. I wrote a book called The Supernatural Green Diet like 15 years ago, and I just like redid it and released it. And then I have a book about crystals too, how to work with crystals, using immortal gemstone energy for health and vitality. So I've written a few.
So what I would love for you to explain today and to really go into details is about the name of this book. First of all, I so like the name, Talk to Yourselves, because it talks to us and we ignore it. And there's no ongoing conversation. And then the subtitle, Quantum Healing for the Modern Human. Now, quantum healing is very close to me because I was trained by and taught for Deepak Chopra. So I'm very much into quantum healing, but a lot of people don't understand what it means. Can you explain why the title and the subtitle, and also what does quantum healing mean?
Yes, absolutely. For me, quantum healing is knowing that right now in this moment, we can affect change in our cells. Right now in this moment, we can alter our biochemistry. And when our biochemistry alters, our gene expression alters. So it's like we don't have to wait months, weeks, or years. That's what's so incredible about the human body is like, like you mentioned, it takes decades to get disease and disorder, right? It's and for so many people we don't even know because culturally there's so many toxins that are so acceptable. I mean, any packaged processed food is a toxin in the body. It's not really what the human thinks is, or what the human organism reads as food, right? And so we're constantly bombarding ourselves with, so it took so long, right? It took so long to get the disease and we did it unknowingly, and that's what like a lot of people were waking up to now is like, oh wow, there are so many toxins in the environment that we were not aware of, that we were shampooing our hair with and putting on our skin and drizzling over our food or whatever it is. And now that we're waking up to it, we realize, oh gosh, it took so many years and the body was so strong. Even though we've been pouring toxins into it, the body was so strong and so resilient. But after a decade or 2 decades or 5 decades, you know the when the genes don't have what they need and they continue to re-express the illness, now we have the illness. But it took decades to get there. But quantum healing is the awareness and the remembrance that our cells actually can change now, and we just have to give them what they need. And we also need to have the vocabulary for it, because if we don't have the vocabulary for healing, then we can't like put a context around it, right? And so we need the vocabulary for healing. So that's why I use the title, quantum healing for the modern human, is we need to understand quantum healing. We need to understand that we can affect ourselves in the now moment, and that we are not victim. The idea that we get a diagnosis and we're victim to it, oh, we just, life just did this to us. No, it's so much more powerful to know that you're the creator. And that triggers people because people are offended sometimes. Like, I caused this. But it's not like you caused it, right? But you caused it, right? And that is actually the best information ever. That actually gives you all your power. And so I really ask people to not fight for their limitation, because something like this does bring up people's edge, right? They're like, it's a brand new idea for some people that they are 100% responsible for their health, not just by the food choices that they have, but by their concept of self. And so that's like, the book gets into a lot of, like the sciences behind psychoneuroimmunology, psychoneuroendocrinology, like how our concept of self produces the hormones and the biochemistry that then regenerates the cells. But it also talks a lot about the stories of people, my clients, myself, who have been implementing this, and how natural it seems. It's like, oh, of course we can talk to ourselves. Like, oh, of course. So we're this divine design, right? We're this divine design that's working nonstop, right? The immune system's always working. The food is digesting and assimilating. The hormones are being created and making us hungry or full or awake or asleep, or like all of this is just happening. But what happens when we put our super conscious focus on it? Because some of those systems of the body have downgraded because of toxins in the environment, heaviness, anger, stress, whatever it is, these systems have downgraded. And so this is our opportunity to take our conscious awareness, which is so powerful, right? Which is the Christ conscious within, take our conscious awareness, shine the light, and go, cells, let's get alkaline. Cells, I love you. The idea that cells wouldn't respond to our love and gratitude for them, to me, makes no sense, right? When we already know, look how water responds with Dr. Masaru Emoto's, all his work, Hidden Messages in Water, his whole, field of work, all his books show us, right, visually, how our thoughts and our words and the frequencies around us impact water, impact our cells. And so it's like the book is just giving you commands to do that, to to play that game, right? To say, okay, I'm going to talk to my cells, and this is why it works, and this is a lot of examples of people that are doing it and the results that they're getting, and then it gives you a lot of commands that you can practice with. You see how they feel in your body, and that's the great thing about our body. And Doreet, I know you would agree to this, and this is what you started the show with, is the body's response. Like, if you tune into your body, you can feel what your body's doing. You can feel that activation of stem cells. You can feel the recognition of, ooh, thriving, health. This is how it's supposed to be. You can feel it.
Absolutely. And you know what? What's interesting to me also, Blythe, is that we ourselves are constantly being mutated, constantly. We don't even realize it. So this hat is a Faraday hat, and I use it a lot, and I wear it a lot every time I'm online, or if I'm going to a building where I know there's a lot of 5G, or it's near, the antennas. I have begun to wear it. Unfortunately, it's awfully expensive. However, we're talking about gifts today that support us in being healthy. And this is the sort of things, anything that will actually reduce the amount of electromagnetic frequency exposures. You'll see it marked as EMF, electromagnetic frequency. Anything that would be one of the best gifts you can give yourself or anyone else is anything having to do with reducing the EMF, the frequencies from electromagnetic devices, whether it's our phones. When I see people putting it to their ears like this, I see this all the time. They're walking on the street like this, and I don't see them wearing a hat or and any devices that will actually help them to expel it from themselves. I see people wearing earphones, and it's constantly in their ears, and they don't even realize that a few years from now it might be a good 15, 20, but they won't even see the connection between having done that and what it is that they're going to be dealing with at the time. So we seem to think that in life we can go through life and we will always be rescued by someone else or something else, a doctor, a new invention, something that's going to come and rescue us. But we are meant to be adults. And so I'm looking for really a way in which we can entice people to think about what they're gifting at any time, holidays, non-holidays, whatever we're gifting people. And the gift of ourself is, to me, the most important gift of all. So when we gift of ourselves, when we give gifts of the heart, kindness, joy, empathy, understanding, sympathy, tolerance, not to mention forgiveness, what we're giving is a gift that will support ourselves and the person to whom we're gifting this in being healthy. So a lot of people I notice, they will give chocolate, almost anything that will.
A bottle of alcohol, right?
Exactly. Champagne, alcohol. What's that alcohol that people like so much? Vodka, gin, things like that. And they're so expensive. But if I say, give them a Faraday hat, they say, oh, that's too expensive. But, or give them a private chef, a personal chef, which means, in other words, give them me. I have a personal chef.
That would be the best gift ever. A personal chef, raw food delivery service. That is the best gift ever.
But people say, no, it's too expensive. But they will go and blow $500 a night at a bar and a champagne, on all these things. And what it does to their liver and what it does to their immune system and their kidneys, and which is almost irretrievable. I know so many people very young right now, very young, in hospital with kidney disease, and they're told they have to do dialysis. No, they don't have to do dialysis. They need to start reading your book. So tell me how they can talk to their cells.
With love, like the commands, a lot of them start with thank you, body. I love you, body. Body, in the case of the kidneys, body, I command you to create new stem cells in my kidneys now, making my kidneys stronger and healthier than ever. Body, I command you to create new stem cells in my liver, making my liver stronger and healthier than ever. And it's not about, I mean, words are powerful, words are vibration. Words are very powerful because they bring your focus into the frequency of that. So it's very powerful. It's very important whenever you're doing the commands is that you actually feel them and that you're actually taking the time as a treatment to tune into your kidneys or your liver or your heart or your lungs or your brain or your skin or your bladder, your uterus, your breast, your whatever, your prostate. Men, it is unbelievable the statistics around prostate cancer. It's like 6/8 of men end up with prostate cancer. We have to look at our culture. What's going on there? Like what actually is going on there? So it's about tuning into whatever part of your body that needs realignment and reinvigoration and a reminder of how to regenerate optimally and tuning your consciousness into it. And that's really remembering. You have to be at the place of remembering the power of your own consciousness and allowing yourself to remember that you have that power. You can use your consciousness to tune in to your organs and command wellness, command them to regenerate optimally and love them and spend honest moments loving them, like really connecting with like, wow, my kidneys are doing a lot of work for me. And alcohol has been so normalized in our culture, and it's absolutely a poison. And people don't realize, because it is so normalized, like if they really realized the just the toxicity of cocktails and beer and wine on the organs, on the kidney, on the liver, if they realize that the body can't do anything else until it metabolizes the alcohol. So people wonder why they can't lose weight, or people think it's like a beer belly. It's not necessarily the carbohydrates in the beer. It's because your body, when it has alcohol in it, can't do anything but process the alcohol first. And so then you're not metabolizing all your other calories like the body is supposed to. And to me, it's sad that people have, like, they don't know they're doing something that's so toxic for them. And then, life becomes very difficult after a couple decades of that. It becomes, joint pain. There's so much inflammation there. Now we're talking about, organs not regenerating properly. But the best news is that we can change this. The body changes so quickly when you stop throwing toxins on top of it and look at your life and look at why am I wanting to check out? Or why do I think that has to be a part of social environments? Like, why am I not hanging out with people that I really enjoy? Why do I need alcohol to make this social environment more pleasant? Like, when we can kind of check in on all those fronts and let go of things that are not serving us, and then really tune into the body and instruct the body while not continuing to put toxins on it, right? Clean it out, nourish it with what the body really needs, and all the while be speaking consciously, super consciously, over the cells, over the body, instructing the way, and then having full faith that it's doing what it's told. You're not like, did that work? Is my body producing more stem cells? About, you tune in and you declare, and and the body responds to that. And you know what the best thing is? And you can attest to this, Doreet. The best thing is you feel it. You don't have to take my word for it. You don't have to believe in it. But if you in earnest do the work shows you its merit.
And my issue with everything you just said is just absolutely a big, huge, screaming yes. What I am concerned about is that people don't even know the body parts that you spoke about. They don't even know what the organs are or what it looks like. So I say, as a gift, give somebody a human skeleton, or give somebody, the organs. You can find them all over the place. You can find them on the internet. Give somebody a gift of what their internal body looks like. In fact, for children, this is great for children because you can take it apart and put it together again. Can you imagine a child growing up knowing exactly where the body parts are, what a healthy body part looks like, And then when a doctor says, oh, we have to cut this out, they'll go, no, no, I can't cut that out, because then it will going to create space here, and then what was going to happen, and all of the repercussions that comes from that. So this is a wonderful gift to give. Also, it's a skeletal system. I
My
mean,
son has one and he absolutely loves it.
of
He
course.
absolutely loves it. He puts together all the organs, all the bones, and then the muscles on top.
Of course, absolutely. So I want you to speak about also the fact that we do not know how to actually communicate with ourselves. And this is why we don't know how to communicate with others. So when your book says, uh, talk to yourselves, it's going almost beyond what people would even do with somebody else. They don't talk to their spouses, they don't talk to their parents, they don't talk to their friends when there's a problem. So when there's a problem with their body, they don't even think of talking to their body. And you've got to go on a cellular level, because that's where everything begins. And that's where all healing must begin. I think in the next, I don't know, maybe decade or so, we'll start seeing a shift towards cellular health. The
Oh,
thing that
yeah.
I focus on with all my clients, every one of them, I don't care what they come to me for, whether it's constant exhaustion, chronic ailments. I look at everything on a cellular level, which is why I'm going to be start recommending your book as part of my repertoire, part of my toolkit, because this is so important for them to know this. And I was actually got my degree in linguistics, because I saw the power of language. And I saw it because I was studying sociology, and I read Margaret Mead's Growing Up in Samoa. Did you read that?
No, I haven't read that. Growing Up in Samoa. Okay.
Oh, it's incredible, by
Put it
Margaret
on my
Mead.
list.
Phenomenal. It's a must. It
Okay.
is a must, especially if you're a parent.
Okay.
And I was really moved and touched by it so much that I switched to linguistics,
Lovely.
because what I saw in some her accounts in Samoa was the languaging was so different. And I thought language is actually the biggest tool we have in our healing, and we know how to use it. And then I studied NLP, neuro linguistic programming, and then I studied Marshall Rosenberg's nonviolent communication, and then I created a peace-based communications skills. It's no, it wasn't it's like a booklet, which I'm going to actually end up putting into a book at some point. And that's why I really, really like the name of your book. I think it's just when I saw it, I was like, yes, finally, finally. So
Thank
Blythe, you are a metaphysician. Can you tell us what that is exactly, please?
Sure, certainly. So people are familiar with the word physician as a doctor that treats them, the body. Well, a metaphysician is someone that treats the energy, the mind, the emotion, the spiritual body, and the physical body. So in my work with my clients, it's, not only getting alkaline and looking at the physical, but also, looking at where do we need to forgive ourselves and others? Where do we need to allow ourselves to have more unconditional self-love? And what does that really mean? Because a lot of people don't even really know what that means, right? And really looking at the energetics, and then also like, where's the energy clogged in the body? Where do we need to move the energy in the body to free up the flow, which of course, as you know, when the energy of our body is flowing, when the blood and the oxygen of our body is flowing, then health thrives.
And even more, most importantly, is the lymph. Clean up the lymph. When the lymph nodes and lymph glands are congested and are blocked, there can be absolutely no healing or health going on. So, as a gift, a holiday gift, or any kind of gift outside of the holidays, doesn't matter, a lymphatic massage would make a phenomenal gift, or maybe a series of lymphatic massages or some colonics
Very
as
nice.
well. That would also make an incredible gift. That's to support people in being healthy. Think differently this year. Think differently next year. Think differently next time you're about to give a gift. Think, how can I give a gift of healing and being healthy? Maybe they get your book, of course. Maybe they do some courses with you, with me, with anybody else, and learn about their bodies, learn about their organs, learn what a healthy liver looks like, learn what the colon is. Look how huge it is. Look how big it is. Most people have never even touched their colon. It's right there on this, almost right under the surface of the skin. You can actually use your hands to massage it, and or maybe go and study reflexology, which you can do reflexology in your hand and on the bottom of your feet, or give somebody a gift. Let's say somebody doesn't want to be touched, they don't want to be massaged, or they're in too much pain. Give them a reflexology session with someone, or a series, because that will affect the organs from the foot, because there are energy points in the foot. Give them maybe working with somebody who works on the chakras.
Yeah.
I took off a whole year of my life and I worked only on my chakras. So for every month, I worked on a different chakra. So I started out in January and I worked first on, of course, the lowest chakra. And that color is red. I only wore red underwear. I wore red everything, red trousers, red. That's why I have all this red stuff right now. And then the next month, I moved on to the second chakra, which was orange. And then the third chakra, which was yellow. And that's why I have all of these colors, in my wardrobe. And I healed on every level. So I healed by using the colors. I focus on that chakra of massaging and speaking to that part of my body to come forth in whatever way it wanted to. So I invited illness in, because to me, illness, if there's an illness in my body, I want to know about it now. So come forth, show me.
Come forth so I can correct you. I love that you said healing with color, because you know how much I love color, and I really feel color. And I love that you said that. And I love that you showed the image of the body. You said in one of your raw food transformation courses, which I love so much, you had us print an image of the digestive system and put it on our refrigerator. And that was so great. And it's still on my refrigerator. And it is so great. I mean, even for the kids to see it, for everyone to see it, it's like, what you take is going through all of this. You're committing whatever you put in to have to go through all of this. What a difference that really makes. I mean, to just bring your awareness to, it's like, you're not just, it tastes so good, you're putting it in and then that's it. It's like, no, it's staying with you for a while. You got to work with it a lot after that.
Yeah. One of the things,
all your courses are so amazing.
Thank you. One of the things I ask my clients to do too is to take a photograph of the digestive system when they go to the farmer's market or they go to any grocery store, and put it beside the product they wish to buy, to purchase, and just say, like put for example, the liver beside the alcohol aisle and say, is this something that would restore health to you? And I think if you really pay attention, you might be shocked to see what happens. You're going beyond the realm of the external world and going internally. When you look at your liver, when you look at your stomach, when you look at your gallbladder, and we're told, oh, you don't need the gallbladder, we have to take it out. We'll just take it out. Oh, you don't need your what's that thing that you remove
appendix. The appendix.
Yes, but the appendix, but I'm talking about the one in the throat. They're always taking that out, especially from children. It's just so shocking to me. And you do need it. The body knows what, it is the greatest wisdom on earth. It is reminiscent of the universe. The universe and the body are one. And so it's like removing the stars from the universe. It's like just keeping the sun and removing the moon. So you might not need the moon to go out, and work every day and do certain things. But biodynamic farming, they farm by the moon, by the rhythm of the moon, and animals do the same thing. And so we get so distracted by so many artificial things, give this as a gift, give that as a gift, the latest gadget, give something from AI. Why are you giving yourself, this magnificent being that you are from the universe, something from AI? Wouldn't you prefer to get something that would give you a sense of awe and wonder and restore that to you, of what your body is, of what this magnificent creation is that, pulls us into the world every single morning, and we can retreat from the world and replenish it every evening. Should we be looking for new ways to replenish it? For example, water. The water that we use when we take a bath. I hear so many people saying, oh yes, should take baths. We should really, that's one of the most beautiful things we can do to be healthy is to take a bath. Well, what about the water? Do you have filters for the water? Do you know what your municipal water is like? Really, really important to know. So when you give a gift, think of it. We give of ourselves when we give gifts to other people. But what if we really give them not just something that we've been told would be great for them, but we give them gifts of to really inspire their heart to grow and their heart to expand. What if we give them ourselves? What would we give them time with us? What if we know somebody who is in a nursing home, and instead of bringing them flowers, which will die anyway on them and remind them of their own death, unless of course it's a potted flower, which is different, then what if we give them instead an hour every week just to sit and listen to them, not to talk to them, but just listen. You know, the wisdom that we could get from people in the nursing homes, they have a tremendous amount of wisdom that's being lost to us. So what if we this year, this holiday season, whatever, just go into a nursing home and say, is there anybody here who doesn't get visitors? And you become their weekly visitor.
That's so beautiful. It makes me like tear. That's amazing.
What if the nurses in the nursing home, you give them the gift of a massage certificate for massage, because they're taking care of others all day long. Would we give them the gift of caring for themselves as well? Maybe every month they get a massage, if you have that amount of money that you can afford that. Maybe instead of actually going out every Saturday, whatever, to eat things that are going to kill you anyway, that are not restoring health or healing to you, what if you instead go to a farm and you ask the farmer, which farm hand here do you think is actually the most miserable? Yes, yes. Which one do you think really doesn't seem the least happy at all and seem to really resent what they're doing? And you go to them and you tell them, thank you for taking care of the earth and allowing me every week to have persimmon, pomegranates. And what would you like me to give you as a thank you? It could be that that person is miserable because they haven't been able to pay their rent for months and they don't know that night they go home, the rent will be there. So then maybe you could go fund me for them. Maybe you go to everyone you know and you don't let them know. You just find out who's their landlord, landlady, and you pay the rent for them. There's so many things we can do. That's real gifts. And you know, you don't have to see them again, but every day that you eat, it comes from them. They're the one toiling in the soil with the soil, no matter how hot it is, no matter how cold it is, no matter how rainy it is, they're out there every day doing that. Instead of just gobbling up food and saying, oh, this is delicious, delicious. Think about the people making it, the people who created it for us, who sow, put it in the soil, who harvest it for us. What if we just go to a farmer and say, what you and your family, why don't you take 2 weeks off? I brought 5 people. We're going to clean your farmhouse from top to bottom for you this week.
What an angel.
There's so much we can do that's really meaningful. And it's not enough just to give money. When we give the money, we need to follow up, for the people who will benefit from it as well. So there's a lot that we can do that will create health and healing for others. And when we do that, guess what? We create health and healing for ourselves because it comes right back at us as well. So Blythe, I want you to tell me, why did you choose the name of this for your book?
Well, because I've been doing this as a practice with myself and my clients. So the first time, so I was listening, like the origin story of these, the original commands for Talk to Your Cells is the stem cell activation that I've been doing with my clients for a couple of years. And the origin story of that is I was walking in the neighborhood and I was listening to Vishen Lakhiani, the founder of Mind Valley, love him. I was listening to his podcast and he was explaining how he had just had this very, expensive stem cell procedure. He said, if you could see me now, I look like I got beat up. He's like, I got bruises all over my face. He's like, they even injected my penis. And then he was interviewing the doctor that gave these stem cells, gave him the treatment. And she said, oh yeah, even women get, vaginal rejuvenation injected, inside of their vagina. And in that moment, I just, as much as I love vision, and I do, I had this such a powerful knowing this. It was like, it hit me. I had to stop. I had such a visceral experience. And maybe some of you listening can relate to, like, if you've ever had an experience like this in your life, you can't help but give it all of your attention. Like, this is information for you to have now. So it was like the world stopped and I like lifted up. It was almost like the birds stopped flying for a moment. And it was like, this is not necessary. You can command stem cells. Like, you can command your body to create more stem cells. Your body's creating stem cells all day long anyway. We don't need to go through that for the result of having our body create healthy new stem cells. That's what our body is designed to do. And also there's such a big ethical breach on how those stem cells are collected, cord blood from babies, circumcision, it's like the way that, and I know this personally because when I gave birth at Cedars-Sinai in Beverly Hills, they would not let me have delayed cord clamping. And the gynecologist gave me the stupidest answer. She said, the baby will get cold. And I said, no, I'll hold my baby. Like, my baby will be warm. Like, we're going to let my baby have all of its cord blood. And she said, no, we don't do that. We can't do that. And I wanted to have a home birth. I had to have a C-section. So I wanted everything supernatural. So it was, I absolutely was like, I am going to let my baby have all of its cord blood. This is what's happening. And she got so curt with me and treated me like I was super stupid and was like, very intelligent people make these decisions about what's best for your baby. And this is what we do. We do a 60-second cord clamp. That's delayed. That's delayed enough because normally we do it at 5 seconds. So it was so repugnant, like the way that she was speaking and it was so incorrect. It was so incorrect. And the arrogance behind the incorrectness, it was just like appalling. You should have seen them when I took my placenta out. I'm like, no, I'm getting my placenta because that's another thing. They get the stem cells from these placentas. So it's a big ethical issue there. And then also, there's not a vagina in the world that wants to have a needle inside it. And you know what I mean? Like, the whole concept is just ridiculous. And so it was like, there it was. Talk to your cells. These are the commands. And the commands came through. Thank you, body. I love you, body. Body, I command you to create more stem cells in my teeth, making my teeth stronger and healthier than ever. Thank you, body. I love you, body. Body, I command you to create more stem cells in my brain, making my brain stronger and healthier than ever. And really connecting. It was like, boom, I just felt these and I felt everything turn on and wake up. And I was like, wow, this is like turning on the software. This is turning on the super conscious awareness of near, the cells are responding to these commands. Thank you, body. I love you, body. Body, I command you to create more stem cells in my heart, making my heart stronger and healthier than ever. And when we say that, stronger and healthier than ever, we're not only declaring it, it's like verbal architecture. That's what it is. You're declaring it into form. You're seeing it, you're feeling it, you're knowing it into form. And that is what we're capable of. That is our super conscious awareness. And frankly, like, this is the Christmas season, many holidays. There's many holiday seasons, but the Christmas holiday is about the birth of Christ, which is really about the birth of Christ within us. What is that? That's Christ consciousness. What is that? That's the awareness of the Creator that we're in. And we have this whole holiday where we celebrate this person and worship this person, but what it really is we need to understand that we can do what the person could do, right? What Jesus said, you will do these things and more. Be still and know that I am God. That means be still and know that you are God. You can command. Your body is a God technology. Of course it is. Look at you. Like, how can it not be? Look at what's happening right now. Look at how the human was created. You look at the processes that are happening right now as you listen to this, right? It's like, yeah, you are a God technology. So that, that is what it is. It's the commands that are putting us in touch with the reality that we can command our wellness in the now moment. So that's where it came from.
That's excellent. Thank you so much for that. Every decision we make, every single song we listen to, the words that we keep repeating in our head over and over. Oh my gosh, that is what's creating our realities. So why not give gifts that will assist people in changing that or in augmenting that? For example, yes, your book, of course. This book, Talk to Your Cells, Quantum Healing for the Modern Human. And people can find it on Amazon, anywhere else, Barnes and Nobles, maybe.
Mm-hmm. BarnesandNoble.com, Amazon. Yes.
How about Apple Books?
Not yet. Thank you. I should do that. Mm-hmm.
Yes, most definitely. And are you going to be doing an audiobook?
Yes. Eventually I will be doing an audiobook.
See, that's why my book hasn't been released yet, mine, which is Being Healthy, because I'm doing an audiobook and I have not really been able to find somebody that excites me. And I spoke with somebody yesterday, it was over an hour, that he was saying you should do it in your own voice.
Definitely.
And that's a big job. And you have to take a lot of time to go to recording studios. You can't do it in one day, not even 2 days. And he's with Jack Canfield, Chicken Soup for the Soul. He did his, and he's saying,
I know him. Dan, what's his name?
No. And he was saying, it's very important that you use your voice for this. And I think that's so true, because voice is healing. Is healing. So if you're going to be,
it feels really good to do it in your own voice. And now, of course, we have AI generated voices that we can make sound exactly like us.
Mm-hmm.
But I went through that with my Dear Teenager, You Are Amazing book. I was like, oh, this is going to be great. I'll make the voice sound just like me, and it'll read it. And I did it twice all the way through the book, and I couldn't stand it because the voice will tell stories, not how you would tell them. You know what I mean? Like, it's all your emotion and what you're trying to communicate, and the voice. And it's worse when it's your voice, but not your emotional delivery. It's worse. So it's like, no, I don't want that. And then, I've listened to several audiobooks by people that I love, and it's not their voice. And I'm like, oh, I really wish it was their voice. And, it certainly is a very big cheat to be able to do an auto replication of your voice with AI, but it will never be as good. You won't have the emotional delivery. And then there's little things that it pronounces incorrectly. And then you just know it's an AI voice. Like, it'll say live instead of live, or it'll say something weird that you're like, that's not how anyone would say that. And so it's available, but it's just not quite good. So I've recorded 2 audiobooks in my closet with a fantastic Rode mic. I did all the editing myself. It is a fun project, and especially you, Doreet, because you are a presenter. You're an amazing host, and so, but yeah, you have to be willing to like give yourself a week where every day you're in a closed space. Because literally, I just did it in my shoe closet. As long as you have a good mic, and the smaller the space, the better, because it keeps the sound in. Yeah. And then you need to have a couple tools to do it. I used Adobe Audition, which is actually very easy audio editing. But yeah, it's an endeavor. One step at a time. Don't wait to release the book though until you have an audiobook, because the book is amazing. I've read it.
I want to do them all together at once. It's too much work doing them separately. Also, one of the things that I wanted to say too is the voice is very important, because voice is very healing. So another gift that people can give for themselves and to others are voice lessons. Learn to sing. Do you know that the vagus nerve, which is the largest nerve in the body and which affects our digestion, it is very stimulated and calmed by singing, by the voice, by your voice.
Mm,
And
mm,
so on the 11th of January, which is a Sunday in Los Angeles, in the Miracle Mile area, I'm getting together with Bella Payne. You know Bella because she substituted for Lisa on the show here
mm, mhm, mhm.
when Lisa was in Honduras. And Bella is a voice coach and a pianist. And so I'm going to be making the food, all foods that are live and living. I'm going to be teaching actually how to eat mindfully, teaching the sacred art of eating, which I used to teach in Canada, which was always booked up and has helped so many people heal. That's
Mm.
another gift people can give themselves. It's just to come. We're going to charge only $10, and we're going to be actually having people eat mindfully. And then afterwards, Bella has some songs she's created that she'll play on the piano and teach people to sing. And so the digestion will come right after eating the food from the voice, from the singing, which will stimulate the vagus nerve, which stimulates the digestive system. So I would love to see people there who have digestive disorders.
Where can they find it? On
So
your
I'm
website? Or I mean, on your Facebook page?
yeah, well, hopefully it will be next week. Hopefully it'll be on our website next week. We haven't even created the flyers for it yet. That's what I'm going to be working on. But it's something that is so important. The voice is so healing. We don't realize that our voice, when you're
Mm,
shouting and yelling at somebody while you're eating, the
mhm.
disturbance that you are causing, not just the nervous system, but the digestive system, because the nervous system, yes, is very important, but it also, especially when it's the vagus nerve, it totally destroys your digestion then, because it takes its command from the vagus nerve, and it's going to be very affected by shouting and yelling. But your voice, when it's calm and soothing, or when it's singing and lyrical, it makes a huge difference. It's the vibrational energy as
You know,
well.
and we can feel that right away because at home I sing with the kids a lot. Like I'll sing like, "Won't you please bring your plate to the counter?" Like what I mean. It's like when you're like telling them these little reminders to do, and they respond really well to that. So it's like you can see that in real time. It's like it just what a difference it makes in the space, to the energy of the space when you're vocally intentional. Really, it's so important, right? To always be vocally intentional.
Yeah, I remember when I was living with a boyfriend I was living with. Um, I would sing a lot, and he said to me one day, "Gosh, you do sing a lot." And I said, "You're lucky I'm not an opera singer. Because if I were an opera singer, I would never speak. I would sing, hello, 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 when I answer the phone, and everything I do, I would be singing it instead, and I would get
You
operatic.
should. Why not? Don't squash that urge. I would love that. Hello, hello, hello. Like, how are you today?
And that's how I would answer the phone. And if somebody yelled at me, I would sing back at them in an operatic.
That is awesome. That is awesome. That's
And
what
I
people should do whenever there's a fight. Like if their partner ever says anything quip that's like irritating, just go into song and it'll just dissolve it all.
so I want to go back to the healthy gifts. What that's one of the healthy gifts is voice lessons,
Oh,
and
I love
learning to
that.
play the piano and singing soothing, calming things to yourself. So if you're upset, if you're grieving, what if you sang a song of grieving instead of
Mm.
curling up into a ball and deciding you don't want to ever live again? What if you just sang this we sang into your grieving, into the
You
grief?
know.
It's actually expressing it and letting it
Mhm.
be part of your human existence, of your human experiment with your bodies. Our bodies are actually capable of healing, as you said, on every level, and there's so much that's been given to us, including our voice, to help us to heal. And this is why I did some research to see if has anybody ever connected the voice, except for Bella and myself, to healing, to the healing of the digestive system. And she says, she told me you're the first person that she's heard, you know, recognize the connection. I said, sure, there are others, because we all function at different vibrational levels. And sometimes you focus at a higher vibrational level. And so you catch whatever's on that vibration and then you download it. And if
Mhm.
you keep your life at a high vibrational level, it stays with you. If not, you lose it. And then something else will happen again and come into your life where somehow you're brought back to that. So that's why I think working on the chakras is so important. When people come to me to change their diet, for whatever reason, I always tell them first, you've got to change your language. So let's work on your language. And they say, no, tell me what to eat when, and give me the recipes. And I said, you can buy my books just for that. But to work with me personally, you've got to be fully present for yourself. Yeah. And it's through our language that we do that, and through our voice. And that's why, even although now I know I'm putting together my courses online so people can take my courses online, I like to meet with people the first 1 or 2 times because I want to really be totally privy to their energies. So I'm working with an energetic being, and I can do some of it, via Zoom or StreamYard or whatever. But it's when it's in person, it's just so much more meaningful to me because I can zoom in immediately, with a pun here, to really cater to what their own energetics need at that moment in time. And so when we give gifts, we need to think about this sort of thing. Are we giving a gift for a moment, like the vodka, like the thousands of dollars champagne, caviar? I mean, who would eat caviar? Things like that. Why don't we instead give a gift of healing, of something that will not just perpetuate healing, but also the life cycle of the body will be vibrating at a higher vibrational level. When we lift ourselves up to a high vibrational level, then everyone around us get uplifted as well. That's a gift that not just keeps on giving, but it starts including those around us as well. So you're not just gifting it to that person, but everybody's going to come into their lives will also benefit from that gift as well.
Absolutely. The tide rises all ships.
Yes, exactly.
We're at such an amazing time right now where so much is available to us. I mean, when you think about essential oils or homeopathy, several hundred years ago, you had to be royalty to be able to come across frankincense or caraway oil or holy basil oil or, lemon balm or, these amazing tonics and elixirs that we have available to us now. It's extraordinary. I mean, all of us can get our hands on whatever we need for like $12 in terms of an organic essential oil that will make a really big difference in a particular capacity in your body, or just, general immune support and like really strengthening your immune system with something like holy basil or oil of oregano or, liquid chlorophyll. Like I love these gifts, right? Liquid chlorophyll, that's a great gift. Holy basil oil, great gift. Oil of oregano, like that's really serving someone. Someone is not going to get sick because they had oregano oil, not get a cough or cold, or, you'll be able to help people truly stay healthier by giving some of those kinds of gifts.
When you help.
Wait, what was that? I think are you muted? What?
Yeah.
Oh, you're muting.
Go ahead and speak in the meantime because it keeps getting muted again.
It's having a glitching. One thing I'm really excited to give, I don't know if my mom's watching this, maybe I shouldn't say, but there's a new vibrational unit. Well, I've never seen it before. I'm sure it's been around for a couple of years. I've been teaching for the last 15 years about the Rife machine. And the Rife machine, what Dr. Rife actually had his medical license banned, and the machine was made illegal because it was a vibration imbuing machine that would take the vibration of disease and imbue it with frequencies that would turn the cell into wellness, because we are all creatures of vibration. We are vibrating. Our cells are vibrating. So when we, and that's music and that's voice. That's like what, that is what the human voice is doing. As you're saying, it's like our voice. I mean, it makes perfect sense that our voice would heal us, that we can use song and frequency through our voice to affect the cells. That's why we ohm, right? It cleans the dome, right? You feel that in the moment. So this little frequency device, I bought for my parents, and I'm really excited about that gift because it's called like Synth Health or something. I got one for myself too. I should see how well it works, but it has amazing reviews. People talk about more energy, better sleep, better digestion, all the things that can happen when we get back to the Schumann resonance, the resonance of the earth, the frequency of the earth, or when we on purpose connect with frequencies that help us focus or help us be more creative. It's like, we're coming into a new awareness of vibrational medicine, quantum healing, quantum medicine, that we can affect the physical being with vibrations, right? From the voice, from sound, and from little devices now that I'm so excited to see in the marketplace. Now, now it's like, that was banned. The Rife machine was banned like 100 years ago. I think it was like 80 years ago. And it's so good to see that when something just works, it can't stay down for long, because when something works, people are smart and people are like, no, this works. And we find a way, don't we? We find a way. And because so many people knew that frequency medicine works, vibrational medicine works, because the consciousness of so many people knowing that, then of course it creates the reality that someone created this device. And it's only $99, which is amazing. So we'll see how well that works. But yeah, I was on a very big just health gift kick this year. It's like everything is health. Everything is to make you shine brighter, because we have so many, natural, beautiful things around us that contribute to our immune function, contribute to our ability to focus. It's all here. It's all plants. It's all plants and vibration. But the fun tools, really it's like, it's all free. But the tools and the products, it's like we have to eat anyway. We are surrounded by toxins. So we do need to be like taking things to make sure that we're continuing to strengthen our immune system, keep ourselves detoxified, deparasitified, if that's a word.
So yeah, what's really interesting, the Rife machine, actually, it used to be the United States, you'd have to go to Mexico to be able to use it.
Are they even still allowed, like the actual Rife machine? I don't even think that's actually still allowed. Although I know several people who have them.
Yeah, I'm amazed. I didn't know it was back in the market. It was in the marketplace now. This is an incredible gift.
It's not called the Rife machine. It's called Synth Health. It's SYNTHEAL.
That's why I didn't know. Oh, thanks for letting me know. Thanks for letting all of us know about this. Really important. So those of you who are listening today, if you know anyone who, can you explain to them, like, please, how they can get it? Of course, I don't mean that where they go, but again, the name and who would benefit most from it.
Oh yeah. So the name of it, you want the name of the product? Is that what you're asking?
Yes, please.
Yes. It's SYNTH and then EALTH. So it's like Syn Health. It's like one word. It's like health at the end, but then SYT, SYNT, no, it's SYNT. No, SNYT. Thank you. SNYTHEALTH. So no, they're not paying me for this. But yeah, I mean, just look them up. They're still having their, Black Friday special or whatever. It was like a $200 device is now $99. And read all about it. I read a lot about it to make sure, like, this is not just like another,
fake
app
one
that says it's theta, but it's not really theta or whatever. It reviews are legit. So we'll see how it.
This is wonderful news. Yeah. Another great gift, I want to really put this in before we go, because we're going in 2 minutes, is the gift of decluttering. And if you can get, when you declutter your mind, when you declutter your heart, when you declutter your home, what it helps us to do, it helps us to let go of the heaviness that is weighing us down from day to day. So we can give the gift of simplifying our lives in a very significant manner by giving someone the gift of hiring somebody who does decluttering, having them coming to the person's home or into your home. You can give it to yourself as well, and really use that to assist you in letting go of so much, because we should be choosing what we want to keep. This is what Marie Kondo said. We should be choosing what we want to keep, not what we want to get rid of. That's decluttering. People think it's the opposite. But this way, when you choose only what you want to keep, and not what you want to get rid of, you end up choosing the things that really will help you most in your healing and on a day-to-day level to really expand and uplift your vibrational energies. So that's really important, because you can't keep everything because then you have nothing. All you have is clutter. And so you have to let some things go so you can make room for things that are much more helpful to you. And one of the things that I want people to think of about decluttering as we move through this holiday is that all the excuses we use for keeping clutter, we have no time, or we're too stressed out or anxious. Well, actually, it's being caused by the clutter. Or poor health. Well, I'm not very healthy. I don't feel very well. Well, that's being caused by the clutter. Oh, I have relationship issues. I can't take it. He's driving me crazy. Well, that your person who's driving yourself crazy too, caused by the clutter. You've got money issues. Well, if you decluttered or you sold that stuff, you wouldn't have the money issues anymore. You'd be bringing in some abundance into your life. Your productivity is really, oh my God, reduced so much when we have clutter. So we need to really give ourselves the gifts that we really, really need. So thank you, Blythe, for coming here today. I'm so glad you were here. I am thrilled to have you. And to everyone watching us, please share this. Let people know that life can be lived on a much higher spectrum than just buying something because it's trendy. Thank you, Blythe, and congratulations on your book.